All right, let's talk about something we use every single second of every day, but we only really think about it when it's about to die. Batteries. You know that feeling, right? That little red icon of dread that always pops up at the worst possible time. Well, what if that whole experience was about to get a complete overhaul?
I mean, just pause and really think about that. What if the whole idea of charging anxiety just wasn't a thing anymore? It sounds like something straight out of science fiction, I know. But that very question is what's pushing a huge shift in technology right now.
I like to call this the battery paradox. See, we expect our devices to be these incredible, powerful things that last forever. But the reality, with the lithium-ion tech we have now, is a non-stop hunt for a wall outlet, batteries that get worse every year and slow our phones down, and hours, just hours, tethered to a cord. We've built this amazing high-tech world on a power source that just can't keep up.
Okay, so what if we could just start over? Design a new power source from scratch? Well, that's exactly what we're going to look at today. A whole new blueprint for power called the Liquefied Gas Electrolyte Core Cell, or LGE for short. And believe me, this isn't just a slightly better battery, it's a total reinvention from the ground up. So what's the secret sauce here? It's all in the name, the Liquefied Gas Electrolyte. So instead of that flammable liquid that's in pretty much all batteries today, this thing uses a totally non-flammable noble gas. The result? You get the best of both worlds. It's got the long-term energy storage of a battery, but with the insane power and basically infinite lifespan of a supercapacitor.
Let's break down what's inside, because the simplicity is actually what makes it so brilliant. The electrodes, they're made from modified biochar, which is basically a super sustainable, crazy lightweight carbon. Then you've got the electrolyte, our game-changing LGE, which delivers all that power, and the whole thing is wrapped in a carbon fiber case for serious strength without adding weight. Every single piece has its own superpower.
All right, let's talk a couple of key numbers, but stick with me. This is where it gets really interesting. First up, 500 watts per kilogram. Now that's just a fancy way of saying how much energy you can cram into a certain amount of weight. And trust me, 500 is a huge deal. It means you can make things way lighter without losing any power. Think about a phone that feels like a feather, but still lasts for days on end.
And the second number is all about one thing: speed. 1.8 megawatts per cubic meter. This is power density. It's how fast a battery can dump its energy out. This is what makes things like ultra-fast charging possible. It's the difference between trying to sip power through a tiny straw and opening up a fire hose. That's the kind of performance we're talking about.
So let's just boil it down to the three main advantages here. Number one, longevity like we've never seen. A battery that will literally last for the entire life of the product it's in. Number two, it's way safer because that electrolyte isn't flammable. And number three, you get insane performance from a package that's both high voltage and super lightweight.
Okay, now this is where things get really wild. Having one awesome little battery cell is great, but can that same technology power your headphones and an entire city? Well, the whole philosophy behind this LG Core is what they call radical scalability. It's all about using one single building block for, well, everything.
Think about it like Legos. We all get Legos, right? The Core Cell is your basic high-performance brick. You need more runtime for your device? Just connect them side by side, in parallel. You need a ton more power and voltage, say for an electric car or the city grid? You just stack them end to end, in series. It's how you can go from powering a tiny sensor to a massive power station using the exact same core tech. It's brilliant.
So we've geeked out on the tech. Now let's bring it back to our lives. What does a world running on LGE actually look and feel like? How is this going to change your day-to-day?
Let's start with lifespan. And this chart, well, it says it all. Your typical lithium-ion battery starts to feel old after about 500 charges, and it's pretty much done by 1500. The LG Core, it's designed for over 1 million cycles. No, that's not a typo. We're talking about the difference between a battery you have to replace every couple of years and one that will probably outlive the device that it's in.
So for your phone, your laptop, the stuff you use every day, the change is instant. It means charging from dead to full in the time it takes you to grab a cup of coffee, or maybe even faster. And it means the end of that planned obsolescence, where your phone starts to feel slow and awful after 2 years because the battery just can't keep up anymore.
Now let's scale it up to electric cars. This quote really nails the holy grail for EVs. The biggest hurdle for most people is how long it takes to charge. LG technology is aiming to make charging your car as quick as stopping at a gas station. That alone could completely revolutionize the entire car industry.
And it's not just about speed. Check out this weight difference.
A normal 50 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack can weigh over 500 kilograms. The LGE version, somewhere around 100 to 150 kilos. When you shed that much weight, the car becomes way more efficient. That means you get more range and better performance out of the exact same amount of energy.
And then there's the big picture, our homes and our power grid. This could finally solve the biggest problem with renewable energy, the fact that it's not always on. The sun isn't always shining, the wind isn't always blowing. But a battery that can reliably charge up and discharge every single day for decades? That's the missing piece of the puzzle for a truly green power grid.
So you see, when you can fundamentally change the daily experience of charging a phone, driving a car, and powering a city, you're not just making better gadgets, you're creating a foundational technology. This isn't just about competing in a market, it's about starting a revolution. We are talking about a potential trillion-dollar shift in how we power the entire planet.
The scale of this is just mind-boggling. The total market we're looking at here is over $1.6 trillion. The car and stationary storage markets are absolutely massive, and LG technology is perfectly positioned to come in and disrupt them by solving their biggest problems: speed, lifespan, and safety.
So, I want to leave you with this one final thought. For decades, all of our innovation has been chained to the limits of our batteries. We've had to design our cool new tech around the power source. But what happens when that limit is just gone? When power becomes a solved problem, what becomes possible then? What are we going to invent next?